Okay, let's start this. I'm going to show you what I look and how I did this. Okay, first, when you look at the picture, you'll map out. This is too light, so I'm going to draw on this maybe, and so you can see better. That's okay. That's better. That's what I did. I just kind of, map out this thing like, as a square, and there's a square. But when I did the second square, what I'm looking, I have a straight line here. I find this kind of meets end of the sphere, right? And this is how much oval it, like that's about that much, right? So that's why how I place this thing on here, by looking at the sphere, so I can place that. Same as this one, you have you can see like how slanted this line is. That's what I did, right? And how far this goes by looking at that. So that's what I played this cylinder. So that's the first step. Just tell you how I look at it and placed everything here. So after I placed everything and I drew the sphere first, drew a circle, right? So the circle is from that square, so that we already learned how to draw a circle from a square. And you basically, you kind of, this is square, you basically kind of, cut it, because you know a square will make a circle, right? So like that, do like lots and lots of times. Finally, you get it right. That's a circle. Okay. And after the circle, I'm going to draw the cube under the circle. So what I did, I will show you. What I did was, I'm looking at this. I'm looking at this line, right? Same as this, so we already see that. So I'm looking at the center line, like where the center line meets with the circle. So that's about it, right here. So it's right a little bit on the right side. That's what I did for that line. And then another one. So after this, after I did this line, right, I'm going to do the on the top. So I'm going to look at, I was looking at this part, right, where it meets the sphere, and how long this is going to be, like from here to here. I made a little short actually. I should have made like right here a little bit longer, but I only saw that when I finished, so I didn't do it right. So after you finish this and that, then you connect this to there. Then you also see the distance, right, from here to here, and how slanted the line is. Is it this way or that way or that way, right? Then you figured out that. Then where the start from here, where the start, right? And that's where I start right here. So then goes to there, and that's the top one. And after that, I'm going to do the bottom one. So the bottom one is it's a symmetrical with this. So if this slanted this way, that has to slant it this way. So that was easy, right? The bottom one is symmetrical with the top. So I finished this too. Now I'm going to draw the cylinder. So when I draw the cylinder, see the line I made it here? So I have to look like, where is this meet, right? Oops, mine is like too slanted. I have to make it more, straight. I think that's more straight. Yeah, okay. That and this and that. See, that's the line I'm making here. So I know this kind of highest part is right here, the lowest part is right here compared to this, then the end compared to this is right here, right? That's how you look around on things, so make it, place it right. So after that, here we go. Now I'm making the circle and okay, right here making the circle, then the cylinder, and voila, that step done. And now I erased everything, and I'm going to start shading. See, that's the everything. Then I'm going to start shading. Here's the shading part. So first to shade it, I shaded very, very light. Okay, very, very light. Actually, I have a video for you guys. You can see how I shaded this very, very light. Just try to find the shape of it, okay? And that's the first shading. And that's the second. When I do the second, in the video you can see, so the first I start from this core shadow, and the second layer I still start from here, right? I still start from the core shadow. So the second layer and the third layer are the same. I'll start the same, but the second I want to make this. I wanted to show you guys this. To do that, I'm going to put this up top of that. What happened? Maybe here? Okay. Won't work. I'm gonna try to let you compare those two, like what's going on. Okay. Okay, I got it. So I have to move this on top. Then move this on top of that. Okay, now here you go. So here's the first step, here's the second. Here's the first layer, here's the second layer. You can tell what's the difference with this, right? So as first layer, I start this very lightly, find the shape, also has values. And the second layer, I darken this. Then I have more room, darken the lighter part. You can see I drew some lighter part. This one doesn't, because the dark part is still too light. And I shade some of this part too, the second layer. And after the second layer, I did the third layer, which is moving this one here. And where's my third layer? Okay. That's my third layer. Okay, here's my third layer. So the third layer and the second layer, that's the third layer. Where's the second layer? Here's the second layer. Okay, here's the second layer, here is the third layer. So the third layer, I start where I start before. I start from here. Then I darkened kind of all the parts and did more shading on the lighter part. And especially you can see from this cylinder, see this is still like white. This I did more because I darkened this and all those things, so I have room for the lighter part. Okay, that's basically the steps for the shading and the drawing.